Hello, everyone. I would like to thank all of you, especially Alin and the entire Knowledge Bites team for their support and kindness, and of course, those who are with us today. Thank you all. This is an opportunity to be here with you and to inform you about the EELISA Open Science community. We hope to have your support at the end of the session, and we are ready to hear your inspiring ideas for working together under Open Science community. Let me introduce myself. As mentioned, my name is Burcu, and I am a librarian at Istanbul Technical University, and one of the EELISA Open Science community coordinators with Esteban from UPM, who will make a presentation after me. In 2011, I got my PhD from Ankara University Department of Information and Documentation Management. I have more than 20 years of experience in higher education information services, worked for 5 years as a member of the Anatolian University Libraries Consortium Open Access Institute and Institutional Repositories Working Group, played an active role in promoting open science as a group member of Open Access Infrastructure for Research in Europe Open Air Project, and National Task Force members of Mediterranean Open Access Network Medionet project. Currently, I am a member of the EELISA InnoCore project. Work Package 3 focuses on EELISA's strategic framework for open science practices. So, I have been involved in open science studies for a while, and I believe in the importance of openness culture in academia. Now, let's start to talk about open science community. To make it easy, I asked 3 main questions instead of you: who, what, and how. And I tried to answer them on my slides. This will not be a session on open science, but to show you how broad the scope of the term open science is, I would like to share the taxonomy of open science with you first, and then begin my presentation on community. Let me remind you that open science represents a new approach to the scientific process based on cooperative work and new ways of diffusing knowledge by using digital technologies and new collaborative tools. Open science is about extending the principles of openness to the whole research cycle, fostering sharing and collaboration as early as possible, thus entailing a systematic change to the way science and research is done. As you can see, open science includes open access, open data, open reproducible research, open science evaluation, science policies, tools, open big data, open data journals, open data standards, open lab notes, open metrics and impacts, open repositories and services at all. I hope this taxonomy will be helpful in revealing how wide working area we have. So I am sure at least one of these will be your focus and reason to contribute to our community. Let's continue with the first question: who? Who can be part of this community? EELISA committees are mission-driven working groups that bring together various stakeholders: academicians, students, staff, internal and external stakeholders. It means that anyone in EELISA can be part of it. Luckily, we have a very strong network in EELISA. Today's focus is on you, students. You are one of the most important contributors because we see you as the most important element in ensuring sustainability. The second question is what? What are we planning to do under the umbrella of Open Science community? Advocating and raising awareness on open science, creating networks of excellence, involving in open science projects, following funding opportunities for community activities, increasing the visibility and reputation of EELISA partners providing an opportunity for intercultural learning experience. And the third question is how? How do we do the things we talked about a slide ago? By planning activities to advocate for open science, presentations, posters on open science. We can take part in events led by ELISA institutions and emphasize the link between the main theme of the event and open science. Supporting in the core work package 3 activities and other ELISA activities. Getting involved within the other ELISA communities through our introductory meetings. We can inform them about how we can support their community work, research, and help them share research outputs, including data. If they ask for help, we can decide how to organize working together easy and effective. Getting active role within the powerful open science teams working groups in Europe to represent ELISA. And it's up to us to do more. By doing this, we are aiming to empower research, education, and innovation through open science practices to increase efficiency and productivity, to bring together and work with all beneficiaries, stakeholders, and experts to ensure society gets the most out of science through the policies, strategies, and tools developed by ELISA to be part of the open science ecosystem. To promote the systematic development of open science ecosystem across disciplines and ELISA members. And to advocate and raise awareness of open science, to support open collaboration with potential multi-participant projects, to be a part of initiatives related to open science elements, and to ensure that the knowledgeable and talented representatives of ELISA are involved in these initiatives. Of course, we know that you are waiting for an answer to one more important question to help you to decide to join open science community. What do we offer? We offer to be a bridge between you and other open science advocates inside and outside the Alliance, support you throughout your education and beyond in developing open science skills, making you more visible in ELISA institutions, support your participation in or development of open science practices, assist you in becoming open science leaders in your fields. Let's see a summary of the open science facets with an image from Foster Open Science webpage. If you are interested in improving yourself or gaining expertise in any of these open science elements outlined in this slide, open data, open access, open source, open educational resources, or citizen science. Or if you have future plans to work in this direction in your field, you can follow us on our website on the communities platform. Please note the community's web address. It is so easy to become a member of Open Science community. Just click the join button. By clicking the button, you can start following us and see what are we doing. After you become a member, all new activities under the community will be shared with you automatically. You can follow the discourses to share your thoughts or start a new discourse that you want to discuss with the community members. You can find upcoming events related to open science on our community page, and participating in them will be a good start to support us. It will help you familiarize yourself with our work and find new ideas to share with us. Please note that We are here to answer all of your questions. You can email directly or request Zoom meetings for discussions. If you are interested in making science accessible to all and sharing scientific knowledge without barriers, we can and should work together. It is in our hands to create a culture of openness and a more democratic society. Thank you for your attention.
That was great. Thank you. Okay, that was great. That was amazing. And I think that the communities are a very, very good place where students can actually explore their interests in terms of, I don't know, innovation, practical achievements. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing the info.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do we move on to Esteban now, or maybe students have questions? Maybe someone here has a question?
I'm here. Also, as I can see, a big part of them are from Istanbul Technical University. So I am here. We can also make face-to-face chats with them. So no worries.
They probably are accustomed to you sharing this information with them. So yeah.
Maybe we can continue with Esteban. I think there is no questions at the moment.
Absolutely. Esteban?
Yes.
Hi again.
I'm here. Hi again. Hi again. So let me share my presentation. Thank you all of you for being here, and thank you also for your nice words. Okay, and I totally agree with you. I think the research is very important, a very step. It's a very big step. Okay, to foster the scientific production. I think. Okay, just around the world, not only Europe. So let me share my screen. Can you share the screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, great. So I'm starting right now. So there is no lunch time in Spain right now, so I'm not hungry. I'm going to start to present myself. Okay, my name is Esteban González. I'm working in the Universidad Politécnica Madrid, Technical University of Madrid, Spain, and I'm a research software engineer in the university. And I'm a member of the EELISA Open Science community, but also I'm a member of the Universidad Politécnica de Madrid Open Science community. Okay. So I've been involved for many years in research data management. So I'm going to talk today about more fair data and data than other aspects in the open science. And also I'm very involved I'm a collaborator for many citizen science projects. I think it's very interesting especially for students, not only for participating in them, but also for designing citizen science projects. So the paradigm in the publication is changing, okay? You can see here the traditional way that is basically the paper, okay? You have the paper, you describe in your paper the data that you are going to use, the methods that you applied, you can put the figures, etc. Okay? But this traditional view is changing right now. Okay? If you try to publish a scientific publication, you will see that many of them say, okay, where is your data? And this is the question that we try to answer in the open science community. But not only the data is important. We are in the era of the computers, of the big data. So the data that is produced is massive, okay? We are not talking about, for example, a data set of, I don't know, 1 kilobytes. No, we are talking about data from gigabytes, okay? So we need software to process all this kind of information, okay? It's this big, massive information, okay? So the software is also a very important research outcome in our research. And from the open science perspective, it is not only important to publish the data, the data, the software is also relevant. So I like this definition of open science This is opening the scientific process to a broader audience, promoting collaboration and participation. I think it's a very more inclusive definition of open science. When we say open, we don't mean also only, okay, I have this data set or this paper, and this is an hidden folder in my Dropbox or in my Google Drive. No, it's when we open all this information, these research outcomes, you have to publish properly, okay? Because the main objective in the open science is publish openly, but it must be found very easily, okay? Because if not, nobody is going to use it. And one of the key elements in open science is the reusability of the outcomes. Of course, the scientific process to a broader audience, because we usually think that we are going to publish our outcomes openly. It is for other researchers. No, it could be for students. It could be for the society in general. Okay, not only for scientists. So when we publish this information, we have to publish it very with properly descriptions that everybody can understand and can reuse this information. And of course, collaborating the participation. Okay, when we start research or when we make, for example, undergraduate work, okay, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be done for us. We can ask for the collaboration from other researchers, other students, or other people to make our work much better. Okay? So with this philosophy, is you will learn in our community how to do it. What is the steps you have to do, and design the experiment that you can develop, okay, to improve your work. Oops. Okay. So you will learn also another concepts like open data, what is open access, what is citizen science, open software, open educational resources, etc. And how can you learn about it? Well, we will share the experiences between all the members of the open science community, because we have a lot of profiles in the members of the open science community. So I think it's a bi-directional experience. So you will learn from more expertise members of the community, but the more expertise members of the community will learn from you. So I think it's a quite interesting way of work, okay, in our community. So you will learn also experience about FAIR principles, which is really relevant right now, not only in Europe, okay, it's around the world. In many national plans, they are implementing this, we can see, new philosophy, okay, in the open science. Basically, just to give you an idea, it is not important only to put your data or your paper or your software in any place of the web, okay? You have to publish it properly to make it more findable, okay? For example, to give them a persistent identifier or making interoperable, okay? When you describe, for example, your data, you must use standards that other people understand the things that you are going to publish. For example, if you have a repository and you want to publish, I don't know, data for temperature sensor, okay, you should describe each field of this data set with a standard vocabulary. In this case, we call with link open the vocabularies or with an ontology. That if you do it, the content of the content you publish is it will be more usable for other person. Okay. And of course, you have to publish it with a proper licensing. It is not only to put the file in one place. You have to assign a proper license to be used, okay? Because as you know, this open data is, if you publish data, you have to post a specific license to make it public, okay? It is not only public data, okay? You have to assign a proper open license, okay? So this is the FAIR principle, describe how to do it. And inside of our community, you will learn how to publish data following the FAIR principles. and we can discuss in the discourse, fora, etc., how to do it. It's also relevant, for example, for European project. If you are working in European project, or you are going to work in a European project right now, you have to publish all this information, okay, as open, okay? So you will learn in our community how to do it, okay? Because we count in our community with people who is been involved in European projects for many years, and especially working in all these elements: open access, open data, open software. Okay, so I think it's quite interesting for you. This is the research life cycle. I just put just slides to tell you that it is not only important to publish data, software, etc. The raw data and the intermediate data is also very relevant to publish. Okay, and publish openly. With this practice, you will get more transparency for your research. Okay, and of course, the raw data that you produce, for example, in your research, it could be very relevant for other researchers. So let me put you just two examples to finish. Okay, this is a citizen science project. It's a mixed project, and the objective of this project is to build the maps that you can find in the left side of the slide. Okay. So this celestial map is built with a sensor, okay, and you have to take different measurements of the celestial pole, okay, the sky. So you have to put the sensor in different angles and take measurements. Okay, so you will see me there just to take in some measurements from the sky, and it's just a manual process. And during like 30 minutes for expert, but for non-expert user, it takes like 1 hour, 2 hours. And of course, this is a process that requires a lot of precision. The results normally have a lot of mistakes, okay, by the user, okay, especially for non-expert users. So this is a citizen science project that I will collaborate for many years. And we decide to open all the results, okay, and even open the hardware design of the sensor or wherever. And the lesson for you is one, a person who we doesn't know, he saw the project, okay, and say, okay, I'm a expert on robotics, so why don't you use, or why do you put the sensor in two robotic arms and build a new device? So he started to work and collaborate with us. And as a result, he developed this device that you can see on the right side of the slide, okay? And this device takes the same results in 1-2 minutes without practically any mistake, okay? So the lesson to learn is, well, we open our investigation, we open our research, okay? And thanks to them, a new person start to collaborate with us and improve the project. So imagine, take a measurement 1 or 2 hours and taking in 1 or 2 minutes, okay? So this is a lesson to learn. And another use case is one of my colleagues started to work in his thesis, okay? The thesis was related with the light pollution, and he tried to study the impact of the light pollution. He tried to study the impact of light pollution. So he started to think about the problem, and he accessed to some images from satellites, okay, and start working on the problem. But the thing in the light pollution is you have to study the spectrum of the light. So it's really important to know the color of the light: white, blue, PC amber, whatever. Okay. So this kind of information is not in the satellites. Okay, it's not in the device that carry out the satellites. So he started digging in the web, and he discovered that the NASA published images taken by astronauts in the International Space Station. Okay, and all these images are free and open, so you can use it. Okay, so imagine that my colleague, my friend say, okay, my thesis is done. But there is a lot of images. We are not talking about hundreds of images. We have talking about thousands and thousands of images. So he has a problem because he only needs images from the specific cities. Okay. So he started working in the problem and he discovered the term of citizen science. So in citizen science, it's about, okay, you can, the people can help you to classify, for example, in this case, images. So he took all the images of the NASA and put it open to the people with some specific application that you can see in the right side of the slide. And the people start to classify all the images, not only to classify the images, but also to geoposition, geolocation, the images. So the people say, okay, this images, for example, is from Istanbul. So they put Istanbul. I don't know how is we can say the shape of Istanbul, but I assume that the people who lives there probably knows better than me. Okay, how is the shape of Istanbul, and they can recognize very easily. So this is another example that the NASA published the data, but there are some images that they don't have scientific value. Okay, from the NASA perspective at this point, just some images that the astronauts taken. Okay, but one person access to them and say, okay, there's scientific value from there. Okay, and start to use these images. Okay, so this is another, I think, very interesting and relevant use case for the benefits to open your research, okay, and get the collaboration for more people. So just to finish, this is some benefits that you will get from the open science: efficiency, the quality, and integrity. Of course, if you open your research, if you open your outcomes, the people can see what is the quality of them, but also it's a transparency measure, okay? They can try to replicate or to reproduce your experiment and see if the results are correct or not. Of course, economic. So they have an economic impact, okay? If you open, for example, new enterprises or new startups can use these images, can use this data and make and increase the value of this data. So I think there are some benefits, and the message that I would like to tell you is, okay, participation in these open science communities, it is not about just all the time learning new things, is to share experiences and come with, we can say, big problems, no? People who is involved and then in many years in open science and work each other, okay? So that's my presentation. And if you have any question, I'm very pleased to answer you. And of course, in my first slide, you can find my email, so you can email me whenever you want. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to finish my presentation. No questions?
Thank you, Esteban. That was really interesting. So you can actually crowdsource solutions for different challenges. Yeah, this is really nice. Really nice. So maybe we have any questions about this very interesting topic?
Yeah, don't be shy.
Exactly.
Don't be shy. My eye is not very good, sorry. I look like a pirate, okay, but don't be afraid. You cannot smell me.
No. You are looking pretty good.
Okay, thank you. Oh, question from 7, I think. Yes,
okay.
I think there is a question from Ceren.
Yes. First, thanks for presentation. It's a really interesting topic. I just want to ask that when do we start the courses, or before the case? Do we have lessons?
Some training lessons inside of the open science community. We don't have a specific date, okay, but I think it will depend of the new members that arrive in our community. If a new member say, okay, I will need a specific course about citizen science because I want to start a citizen science project, or I think this citizen science project can help me in my undergraduate work that I have to send. Okay, we can organize not only a course, maybe we can organize a face-to-face meeting. Okay,
Okay. Okay,
via
thank
Zoom
you.
or another kind of application.
Okay, thank you.
Ceren, also I will be in touch with you and maybe we can organize a Zoom meeting and discuss all topics you are interested in, and we can schedule a training series, but we just need to know your needs first. This is why we are together here. Thank you for your participation so much.
I'll be appreciate. So thank you. Can I ask one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
Mrs. Bulut, can I have your email address?
Yes.
I missed.
Let me put you in the
Bulut
chat.
Burcu@ituedu.tr. I'm going to share it through chat, okay?
Okay, thank you.
That's my email in the chat also.
So thank you.
So any more questions? Maybe we can move to the next presenter, Alex.
Okay, no one else? So we move on to the next presenter? Yeah, that's
Yes.
great. So our next presenter is Atakan Savaş, who will talk about the subject of open science communities. And hello. Hi
Hello.
there.
Could you please give me a permission to share my screen?
Sure. Just make co-host. I give you co-host. It should work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can you see?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, I think it's okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Esteban, Alin, Burcu, and other ITU members. Today I will talk about actually my observations and my friends or young researchers' observations about the open science in ITU and actually other institutions. I will talk about the process, the awareness level, the increasing awareness level of the open science and open access, or maybe co-learning, learning together principle. First, I will talk about the ELISA. I was a member of the council of ELISA for 2 years. ELISA is a huge alliance which is for establish a common engineering principle in Europe. So ITU is one of the partners of the alliance, and for different disciplines, the studies will continue rapidly. You can see the ELISA partners here, and please let me introduce myself. My name is Atakan Ege Savaş. I am research assistant and master student at ITU, Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. I am a materials scientist for 3 years. I am a former ELISA ITU student representative and former ELISA Student Council co-chair. And now, for I think 3 months, I'm a member of ELISA Open Science Community. At first, I will give some numbers about academic studies in ITU. In ITU, previous year in 2021, almost 2,000 academic projects and over 1 million academic publications has shared. And of course, now today studies continues. Doing science in ETU, this is actually one of the hard cases in ITU, because our classical academicians are not okay to work together. Actually, they don't know about open science, open access, or learning together collaborations. But hopefully, young researchers or students are very warm about this. In my 8-year ITU adventure, I can observe this situation, but of course we have some obligations to actually beat them. I think open science community will increase the awareness level and we can solve the problem. Actually, we have to put aside the hopeless cases. It's essential for ITU and all other institutions, which are some science centers actually, to carry out studies that will make the warm approach of young people at all institutions more meaningful to open science, cooperation and learning together. Open science to be gained by young researchers and a good level of awareness for learning together will be an important step in removing the obstacles to all institutions being an open science center, as well as being a center of science. I think open science, by using open science principles, being a science center is much more actually, I think, easy. The efforts to increase awareness of open science and learning together among the young researchers, and of course the whole university accelerated, especially after the presence of ELISA in ITU and I think all institutions, because ELISA gives us a huge advantage to being a part of a huge collaborations in both academic and social sites. And many activities within ELISA coincide with the principle of open science and learning together. Activities such as internship mobility, joint ELISA courses, ELISA communities, and project-based collaborations that will emerge from those communities. Joint use of laboratory infrastructures in partners are activities that are far from the order that classical academics are accustomed to, and are in the exact direction that young researchers want, and to create an infrastructure for open science studies. I think by using young researchers' vision, we can reach a huge potential of applications of open science in all institutions within the ELISA. You can see the relation of the open science, maybe the sides of the open science in ELISA. It's based on the open science community, actually. In Istanbul Technical University, there is a project which called as BINOM. This project will ensure that the needs of the project and the competencies of people are matched through artificial intelligence in order to share academic R&D activities, such as projects carried out within ITU and laboratory studies, and to find suitable people from different departments for these studies. It will also be possible to share activities such as training, seminars, and workshops that can be carried out jointly through this platform. In that platform, your personal information, your certifications or other fundamentals and the requirements of the projects will be matched by using computer programs, and then you will be informed yes, this is a project, you will be a suitable person for the project, and maybe you can want to study, want to work in it. And the other side, the head of the project can see the suitable peoples, to require peoples for their projects by using BINOM. This is actually a good platform. It will now it is the second phase, and it will be used, I think, next year in ITU, and I hope in all of the ELISA. Finally, actually, I can say something. What I was trying to convey was this: we as a young researchers and students are aware of what is right and wrong. Actually, I think much more than the classical academicians. We are on the right track. I think we strongly believe in open science, learning together, and the great benefits they will bring to us and to our institutions. As a member of the open science community, we continue to work faithfully to raise awareness on this issue, and we will continue to do so, actually. And actually, this is my favorite Turkish proverb: two hands are better than one. I think this will be a principle for the open science community and all of the open science studies in Istanbul University and all of the ELISA. Yeah, actually, my presentation is that. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Atakan. It was a really, really nice presentation, and I actually agree with some of the points you raised. But I do have a huge curiosity. Yeah, with the platform that you are working on, will it be automated? Will it be the matching between the projects and I don't know, researchers? Will
Yes.
it be? It's going to be automated,
Yeah,
so
automated, yeah.
Not necessarily with human involvement in selecting various teams, or the team will be assembled automatically.
Actually, you have an option to use it manual, but it will be completely automated.
Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So do we have any questions, any further questions for the students or the people who are here present today? I'm glad, because it seems that all three presentations were so thorough and so that people have no questions.
Yes, it's a big pleasure.
Yes.
We present what they are expecting, so I'm so happy. I just want to make an addition to Atakan's verse. We are also using within the community that we are stronger together, like the one you mentioned in Turkish. And that's all for me now.
Yeah, for me too.
So no questions? Well, no questions, it seems. we're going to wrap it up. Okay, guys, so it was, we have no more speakers left. So
we did pretty good, and it's time to say goodbye, I think.
yeah, I thank again all the speakers, all of you, for these very interesting insights on open science and the inspirational ideas about how we can actually crowdsource technological solutions for various challenges. I really like that. Thank the students for being here. And again, thank you all for having spent your lunchtime with us. If any of you have any further questions that you didn't want to pose in front of the camera, you can learn more about the EELISA communities. Please write us an email at the emails shared through the chat, or visit our EELISA website. We will meet again in approximately 2 weeks. So for all of you that want to join, you are more than welcome, and you will find the invitation on the EELISA website. Thank you again. Thank everyone. And have a wonderful rest of the day and weekend.
You too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you.